Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to New Kingdom Marriage. We will be talking about topics of conversation. It's a continuation of something that we started last week when men and women are considering marriage and some of the things that you should discuss so that you have a better idea of what you both are looking for. The last one we did was lifestyle, so we're going to move on to children. If and when we should have children and why. Then it says how many, how far apart, would we consider adoption, what are the standards of behavior, what are the appropriate ways to discipline them, how many strikes before they're whatever, um, what are the expectations of time spent with them and when do they go to bed, what are the signs of affection that you will show them, what about school, homeschool, Christian school, public school. Um, at this stage of the game, I'm not really all about the children thing, but should they? I'm not trying to make none. But should the spouse come with some, then we have to have those considerations. Would I be open to that? Um, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not necessarily looking for it, but I'm not opposed to it. Um, how many? Not a whole lot. I guess whatever they come with, because if the person comes with children and you love the person, you're going to do what you need to do. How far apart, it would depend on how many kids he's got and how far apart they are in age. Um, would we consider adoption?
Yes,
Um,
absolutely, absolument. Yes, I'm all for adoption. Matter of fact,
I,
if you're playing
I'm
that, I'm
for
all for
adoption.
it.
Okay. In my mind and the way I see it working out, kids were not a part of the picture, but should they come, then I'm willing to do whatever needs to be done. But if it was what I wanted, it would just be me and him building the empire and traveling the world. But it depends on, what the person comes with and what they got going on. Now, if he comes at this stage of the game and starts talking about adoption, I don't know, because I hadn't really, it wasn't really part of my plan, but um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, as far as standards of behavior, I'm not sure exactly what they mean with standards of behavior. You expect the child to behave, unless there is some kind of behavioral problem going on or something like that, where then you still have to figure out ways to make the child behave. Um, when they talk about discipline, I I think you do everything you need to do before you get to the point where you have to put hands on. I'm all about having conversations, taking things away, privileges, all that kind of good stuff. Worst comes to worst, then we talk about the spanking thing. But I don't really like the spanking thing. Um, what are the expectations of the time spent with them? You have to spend time with your kids. There should be um, not just like when you're doing activities with them, but there should be times when you take them out, times when, and I like that one-on-one thing because my mom used to do that with us, where we got it's just my sister and I, but also we got one-on-one time where we did things alone with her, and I like that, and I think if you have a kid, you should do those kinds of things. Um, what time they go to bed? It depends on their age. It depends on their age and how much sleep they need, because some children need more sleep than others. Um, what signs of affection will you show them?
But isn't
I'm
that
all
the
about
depend on
the
your
high
love language?
communication and the. Hmm?
Isn't that depending on your love language? I'm not very, Lord help me, what? I'm not very hands-on.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm not a huggy type of person, but I'm okay in every other areas.
I am I am terrible with that. I am a huggy, kissy, rub on all day long. My niece, and it's the funniest thing. She's extremely affectionate, but I think that has to do with I was the one that kept her from 6 months to 3 years old when she started preschool. My sister's not as much of a huggy type, and she will send her to me when she's like this. She's like, "Go here, Tia, let her hug." But I am that person. I love all over them all day long. Um, I just think it's important. They need that. They need to know that somebody thinks they are the best thing that has ever happened to this world. I think it's important. And just because I am very affectionate, you wouldn't think so because I seem real dry, but I am extremely affectionate. Um, and I do. I love all over the kids.
That's not my gift.
And you got yourself a real huggy kid.
Extremely.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter
But
of
I
fact,
love
he'll
it though
do
because the
anything.
minute
He'll
I
do
see
anything
him,
for a
we
hug.
are just attached. He and I. The minute I
Like
see
if
him, we're
you,
just like,
yeah. I mean, I could use not hugging you as a punishment.
Oh no, no.
No, I'm saying
yes.
like if I was to, like
Yeah.
if I ignore him or not hug him, to him is a punishment. When it really, that's just not me. Get out of here.
No, I think
Especially
they
if he's
need
sick.
it.
Oh my God, go over there because I don't want. I don't want what you got. But you don't understand that. Why you
No,
think I'm not? I'm not feeling well right now. I got his cooties.
I actually have gotten the flu, pink eye, all kinds of stuff from Summer because she would be sick and we're still all hugged up, leaned up. I've gotten pink eye at least twice from her
Yeah.
for that same situation. Yeah, because I'm still gonna hug up all over her. Now it's a little different. She just made 13 and she's in that, sullen face. But she still comes to get hugs and kisses.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
You've been quiet, Corona. What do you think?
Well, uh, you know, if I can go back, because I do believe if the gentleman that I am going to be engaged to and married to, if he comes with kids and they're younger, because I had to think through that, because mine are all grown up. I'm like, checkbox done. I did that. Or God did it, not me. I'll say that God did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that it's a discussion because and I'm not, I'm not a spring chicken. I am not. And I know that the younger age groups are going to need more of everything, yes, affection, of course, but they need everything.
They need all your energy.
All day, every day. I mean, and maybe I feel this way in terms of I just want us to have that constant communication about his expectations of me. Because for example, if it's a younger age group, and of course, I would assume that mom's involved, like that's something that all the three of us, or if she's married, the four of us, we would have to really
Yeah,
sit.
that's exactly right. I don't want to be okay. Let me be quiet because I don't.
Okay. And I'm okay with that because I am looking forward to the blending of our families. And I want everyone to be really clear, like, hey, what do you expect of me? Like, I'm going to be, um, because it's a conversation. Like, what does discipline look like? How do I enforce your rules when they're here, if that's the situation? And a lot of other questions. But if the children or child is older, if they're an adult, completely different.
Easy.
In my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll have that conversation, but it'll be about different things because all
Right.
the kids are adults. It'll basically be a meet and greet. And how can I best support you guys? How can, but the conversation's a little different. But if it's younger, oh, and then there's another option too, because I've had some conversations, and there are some gentlemen that still want to have children, even though in our age group. And for me, I'm like, I'm not having that discussion until I'm married. I can have it when we're engaged, but for me, according to what my physician has said to me, yes, it is still an option for me to have children, but I need to talk through that, because then I would be starting completely over. And the way that I was with, my children when they were younger, we were attached. I mean, yes, I had a full-time career, but because I had the full-time career, like, I missed them. I missed a lot of I just missed a lot of milestones because I had that full-time career. But when we, were together, and my kids are now, we're close. And yes, I'm a lovey. I'll end with this. I'm a lovey-dovey, huggy.
I can see that.
Like, I
I
just
don't know how you people are my
hear
friends.
me.
I can see that.
So yeah, and I like little kids. I do. I
I
like
do
little
too.
kids. They're sweet. If they're and I tend to, I don't know, there's just something, and I'm thinking back to the days when I used to like serve at our church with the little ones.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, I would be lost in there. I would be lost. Like, I would tune everything else out, because they're in their own world, and I had to get, to that. And I like it. It's okay.
I like little ones. And for some reason, I can be anywhere and they find me. I'm in the grocery store minding my own business, pushing my cart, and when you look down, there's some little person. It's like, who's baby? They come over, they want to say hi and all that good stuff. But when I think about what I want to do with my life at this stage again, because there was a time when I wanted very much to be a mom and all of that, but at this stage of the game, it's not really what I'm looking for. If whoever I end up with comes with children, then I'm all for it. But I'm not looking to do that. I'm open to it if it comes with children, but I'm not looking to do that. I'm not, going. I'm not pursuing that.
Yeah.
Janine.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll take you with your children. And my prayer is that God will teach me to love. I've always wanted to adopt children anyway. I always wanted to adopt at least 4. So, because I wanted to have 4 kids. So,
I only always wanted one.
And I wanted twins. So if I have twins, boom, boom, two things. So, but for me, like, if you come with children, yeah, great, wonderful. How do we navigate that? How do we manage that? How do we put the plan in place? And hopefully you'll be the sweet parent. And because I'm there. I know me. I'm not a huggy, loving. I love you to life, and I'll do everything possible for you. But
You're not warm and fuzzy.
I'm not. And I although I would love to be warm and fuzzy, but I'm that person. When I'm exhausted, I'm no good. I'll look at you like, oh yeah, good night. Like, I'm out. And I even feel like, how would a husband deal with that? Because come 9:59, my head's in a pillow. If you were talking to me, it's not on purpose. I love you. I'm out. So that is a thing for me. Like that is a concern for me. Like, what are you gonna do? Because I'm that person that lay my head in a pillow at a party with loud music and go straight to sleep. So what are you gonna do about that? And I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the fact that I'm been on my own for so long, it's almost like I gotta break myself in all over again. So, and hopefully that the kids will be where I don't need. I really would like him to have a little girl. I really would like that because I like a little girly girl. because I
You
love
want a girly?
Yeah, I like wearing dresses. I like to go get our nails done. I like. I'm not a pink color person. Don't let the scarf fool you. But I like little girl, and I like little girl to be age appropriate little girl, not the sassy one, grown too much in people's conversation. I want little girl to be little girl. If you're 6, I want you to be. You could be extremely intelligent, but still be 6.
Mm-hmm.
So pray for me. Lay hands on me and. But Kawana, I do have something to tell you about children. It came to me yesterday twice, and I totally forgot it. And just as you were talking, it came to me again.
What? What? What are you giving me a look? I've never seen your face do that, Shameen.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I said
Did you see
so many words.
You saw kids?
Yeah. I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
just a kid. You saw a baby. Did you see a baby, an infant?
I saw you with a little girl. I really did. I saw it twice, and then just now when you said it, it reminded. I was like, oh my god, I saw her with a baby.
Ooh.
Well,
she knew it. She knew it.
I do, and you're right.
She knew it.
Because God.
I'm not telling her nothing she didn't already know. She's very connected, and she knows a lot already told her. That's what she said. I'll have a conversation when we are engaged. No, let him be known. If he says he wants,
I mean, if he comes with one, you can't be like, oh no, you gotta get rid of the kid.
The kid gotta go.
He comes with
I don't want a puppy.
Huh?
I said I don't want pets. I don't want nobody to call me that the fur babies, and I'm not a pet person.
Oh,
No, you're allergic.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm too allergic. I'm too allergic. If I have to choose between the fur baby and the baby, I'll take the baby.
Yeah, I hear you. I have those allergies.
I'm too allergic. I'll be too sick.
Yeah.
And it'll require way too much medicine. I can't.
Yeah. Those allergies are no joke. Because I have those allergies too, to like pet dander. So I mean, I know my kids eventually will. They've always wanted dogs, but
yeah, my niece wants one too.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it as soon as I get out of here. I think she should have it. I just can't. I don't want to be under the roof when it's here.
Yeah.
Because it's just.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Jojo. He ain't getting one.
Oh yeah. You know, I had to pray about it because a lot of guys, a lot of gentlemen
They have kids.
Dogs and cats, and so if a guy has a cat, I'm going to be transparent.
Oh, if I have to choose between a dog and a cat, it would be the dog. I can't do cats. I'm allergic to them too.
I'll take a parakeet.
I don't want any. I don't want any.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to eat them, but
maybe a goldfish because it's in a bowl and we could just,
I'll stay there with the fish. But if
and not even the huge tank with all that stuff going on, just a little bowl.
Yeah,
with a goldfish.
Yeah, but I can't handle a cat. I grew up with cats, and I'm over it. I think that's part of the reason why I have this allergy to, all these animals. But if it's a cat, no, I don't want no.
I don't want a cat either.
I just don't want it. It's too much. For me, it's just going to be too much going on. Did they talk about? They didn't talk about pets. Oh, when they talked about school, what about school? Homeschool, Christian school, public school. I would definitely do some type of Christian school, private school situation. I went to Catholic school, and I just find that the smaller classes, the more they get one-on-one. You have a little more autonomy of what's going on in the classroom. Also, I don't like how the public school does nonstop standardized testing, because I think sometimes they get really caught up in the standardized testing and not
rather than learning.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that when you are paying tuition, they're a little more conscious of making sure that your children are learning and you're getting your money's worth, because they don't want you coming up there fussing at them about tuition and what's taking place in the classroom.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this: homeschool is not for me. I don't have the gift. I'm an educator, so homeschool is not it. Now, if you want to pay somebody to homeschool them, I could sit there and supervise, but it won't
I
be me.
could do it. I could do it because I do a lot of tutoring and that sort of thing. I just what always bothered me about the homeschooling is making sure that they are going to still have time to socialize, because when you're homeschooling, it's just the kids that that you have there in the house. And I think it's really important, if you're going to homeschool, that you find a community of other homeschoolers where you can make school trips and play dates and things like that, because the kids need to know how to socialize. I don't want my kids to be the little weird kid because they don't know how to socialize. They don't, they didn't know how to spend time with other children. I think it's important if you're going to do the homeschool. And the other thing is, I think if you're going to do homeschooling, it should be someone who has an education background. It's just my opinion. People get real sensitive about that, but people have a tendency to feel like, oh, I'll get the curriculum, I can do it. It's not that easy. It really isn't.
No, I couldn't do homeschool. And, my kids, they went to Catholic school. I worked super hard, really hard for them to even do that. And they were there a long time, like from preschool age. And then when we moved here, they did 4 years of high school in a public school, but I'm really thankful that they were able to get the attention they needed. They were able to be challenged and a lot of other things. But if I'm married, when I'm married and there are school age kids, like I'm not going to vote for a public school unless I have to see some numbers. I have to see, what are the success rates looking like? And
it would have to be that their dad really and truly doesn't want it. But I just think they should. I just think they should go to a private school. Yeah. Definitely, if I can do Catholic or Christian school, definitely. Yeah. I just think it's a better. I went from second grade through high school. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a better.
Mm. Yeah.
I see it a little differently. For a little girl, I'll say from 0 all the way to 9th grade, I'm okay if they go private and go to public school the rest of the high school. But for boys, Black boys in America, I'm gonna need him to stay in private school because of the stuff that they go through high school and the stuff that, like, I guess some of the information that I've read kind of put them at a disadvantage, and not many Black boys are graduating at the rate they should graduate. So I don't necessarily want them to want my son or to be in public school. Mm-hmm. No offense to anybody else. I just want to put that out there. It's just from what I've seen. But if you have your son or your daughter in public school, you got to give them that additional support to compensate. You got to put them in different activities to help them build other skill set. Because when they get out there, when they're competing, whether we want to accept it or not, in this country, the expectation is so much higher for them. They don't have the luxury of being participate in mediocrity. They have to excel in everything they do. They're not allowed to be slackers. They're
not allowed to be children.
Yes.
It's not even a matter of slackers.
So to me, it's not fair. So
it's
not. You got to put them in position for them to be successful, not constantly being badgered. So I'm totally about building them up for success. And I also want to say that I would like for my my husband to also incorporate traveling with the kids to different places for that exposure that they need to be well-rounded children. And I would like for him to speak another language.
Not only
Spanish.
Not only do I think the traveling is a good idea, I think especially with girls, they need extracurricular activities. It slows down, especially during that junior high school years. It puts dating and that boy crazy thing on the back burner, because once they are really engaged in school and their extracurricular activities, they still like the boys and they're still, but it's not as important. And I've seen it with my goddaughters that were involved in a lot of different extracurricular activities. For one thing, their grades were, because in order to participate, you have to make good grades. Their grades were great, but they were also really focused on doing well in school. They were focused on doing well in whatever activity they were involved in. And I think it's just really important that we encourage that. And I think it's great for both sexes, for both the girls and the boys. I think they should be involved in extracurricular activities. And I think private school, straight through to high school, straight through. And then when you go to college, we can talk about where you want to go and what you want to do. But if I had it my way, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I just find that there's a little less. For one thing, the schools are usually smaller. Here in New York, you can have schools where you have, 2,000 kids in a building. That is crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. It's too many kids. Too many situations can take place. Especially now that they have the charter schools, you can have 2 and 3 different schools in one building. Where the charter schools, they have more resources, so they have all the latest technology and all the things to help, to really make sure that the kids are learning. While if they're in a regular public school where they don't have those kind of resources, their learning can be impeded. It can be slowed down. It can be impacted by not having the resources that are necessary.
Yeah.
So that's my whole spiel on private school, which is surprising since most of my work has been in public school, but it's just how I feel. Okay. Did you all talk about how many kids we talked about adoption, we talked about how many kids, we talked about affection. Okay, so that's that for the children. Entertainment. How much money would you spend on entertainment? How often should we eat out? Where? What kind of vacations are appropriate and helpful for us? How many toys? And it's a snowmobile, boat, cabin. How should we have a television? Where? What is fitting to watch? How much? What are the criteria for movies and theater, video, DVDs? What will our guidelines be for the kids?
I think after we paid our tithe, because I think that needs to be part of the budget. I do think that we should also put aside, money for saving. But I do believe in entertainment, and I'm not necessarily talking about going out to eat. I could cook, so whatever. It's not always about eating outside. But I do think that going to different places, museum, parks, these things are important. Vacation, I need it. Not only with you, but without the kids. With the kids, without the kids. So then that means it requires budgeting and planning for it. So I do think I'll say 5 to 7%. And if you are the one that's taking care of the primary responsibilities in the home, I think that my salary should be able to cover those other stuff. So that way, that's not part of your budget.
Okay. Juana?
I think entertainment is okay. When I think about entertainment, I definitely think about things that are good for my husband and I. I would like us to have, moments where we experience have different entertainment experiences together, and then with the family. And, the toys, I have to say, I'll say this. I don't want to tell my husband, no, you can't buy that, because if we handle all of our financial responsibilities first, similar to what you said, Shameen, like if we handle, did we take care of our giving, this month? Did we take care of our, what about our budget? Is it good? Oh, okay. Because he's going to have his, his quote unquote play money. I'll have my own as well, but I would trust that he, would consult with God in terms of, okay, Nothing's going to be excessive. Let me just have this little, like, let's say he wanted, I'm not a motorcycle. I am not into any of that. I'm not into a motorcycle, a boat, a RV. I'm not into any of it. So none of it is going, I'm not going to blink twice if he is. But at the same time, if I were into anything, I mean, I like experiences via travel. I like experiences where I am, you know, I like self-care themed experiences. I'll say that. And I love them. But if, we're okay, if everything is budgeted and we're good to go, yeah,
I'm okay with the toys, though, depending on the toys. I'm not up for you getting a motorcycle, and I'm not up for you to get a car that could go 300 miles per hour. I'm gonna need you. The Lord finally blessed me with you. I'm gonna need you to consider being sick. So much so, I need you to exercise, eat right, check your health. All of that is important. I finally got you, and you want to do something reckless? No, sir, Bob. I'm gonna need you to be healthy. So that means that anything I have to do to help alleviate stress, to make you happy, if you need somebody to come give you a foot massage and self-care, I'm gonna need that. It needs to be in a budget, because what you're not gonna do is put yourself in a position where I finally got you. No. Yeah. We're not skydiving. You're not motorcycle gliding. We're not roller skating. You're not roller skating.
You're not roller skating? I don't know how to roller skate. I know.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to roller skate, and also I had what did they call that? The line skates. I had that too, but I haven't done that in years, so I don't know. I think, as far as entertainment is concerned, I like the idea of us doing things, traveling, going places, theater, Broadway shows. Every year we used to do Alvin Ailey, all those different things, going to museums. Those things, I really like doing those things, and I would like to continue doing those things. Traveling. And when we travel, I am a spa girl. I always like a day where, so even we do that. As far as toys are concerned, I don't like the motorcycle thing only because I don't want anything to happen to you. But as far as, some of the other things, if that's what you want to do and we can afford it and it's not taking away from the household, I don't see it as a issue. I'm not much of a toy girl. I am more of a shopping girl, so I'm going to do that regardless. So I wouldn't stop you from doing what you need to do to be happy, providing we've already taken care of whatever it is we need to take care of.
Yeah. I'm not gonna babysit about his toys.
And it says, what kind of vacations are appropriate or helpful? I think any kind of vacation that we want to do, as far as I'm concerned, is appropriate. If you have children, then you do a vacation where the kids are involved and that there are activities for them that you can do, as a group, or that they can also participate in. Some places you go and they have some kind of kiddie camp thing going on during the day and the kids can attend that and they're at the beach or whatever. I think those kind of things are nice, providing your kid is safe and you feel comfortable with them going to that. But there are different places to go when you have kids. There's Disney World and all those other amusement park situations. And now they even have them where they are attached to hotels and things like that. So you make it a whole experience. And that's pretty cool. And kids like going on vacation. Wherever it is you're taking them, they like it. It doesn't necessarily have to be where it's going to be an amusement park situation. But I think if there's a beach or a pool and activities for them to do, they're going to love it.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, they enjoy all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
My my prayer and hope is that, because I just don't see me getting a husband and he has no family. I just don't see that happening. So of course, blending our families, yeah, I would hope that we just make time for us, and
Mm-hmm.
'cause that's important.
I am looking, I'll be honest with you, that is what I'm looking forward the most.
Mhm.
I know you all have talked about blending families and all that, and I'm all for it because
Yeah.
if he has family, you can't ignore the family. But I am looking forward to being able to do things where, we get to do stuff on our own.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Then they talk about conflict.
Mm. Oh.
What makes you angry? How do you handle your frustration or anger? Who
Mhm.
should bring up the issue that is bothersome?
Mhm.
What if we disagree both about what should be done and whether it is serious?
Yeah.
Will we go to bed angry at each other? What is our view on getting help from friends or counselors?
Mm. Yeah, that's important. We definitely are going to need, ongoing support from, a biblical counselor, or a yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, that's the right word, therapist. I mean, I don't
Mm-hmm.
saying that. Yeah, yeah, I expect that, actually. Because there's no way that I would even agree to get into a engagement if the gentleman doesn't have if that's not part of his health journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work for me, because we need that. And how many times do we have to hear and see and witness that marriage is hard? It's tough. Like, it is an ongoing, series
Mm-hmm.
of choices and decisions and effort and effort and effort. It's not, there was and maybe it was the video that Shameen sent us, but I had heard the same thing over and over again, different ways. Like, when people first meet, that whole honeymoon phase, it doesn't start with marriage. It actually starts when you meet someone and you really, really like them. You're not even
Right.
thinking about all of the other things that you need to think about.
Mm-hmm. Your volume, Kwana, your volume. Check to see if you're muted because I can't hear you. Check to see if you're muted, Kwana. Can she hear me? Kwana, you're muted. Oh, I can't do it. I don't know. Can you? You're muted. I can't hear you. Oh no, I'm losing everybody. Shameen, can you come back on? Okay, so we're having some technical difficulty. Um, okay.
Oh, there I am.
There you are.
Oh,
Yay!
sorry.
Because I lost both of you for a minute. All right.
I had to refresh my screen.
Okay.
Sorry.
And you sounded like, well, you looked like you were really into it, and I didn't hear a word of it.
Your word. It's okay. The short version, I was saying that I just pray that my husband and I agree on what biblical counseling looks like, what therapy looks like, and that we're consistent, in our frequency, how we participate, because it's going to be a part of our marriage health journey. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When it says, what makes you angry and how do you handle your frustration? What makes me angry?
The devil.
Being dishonest makes me angry. When you are dishonest, when you're disloyal, that makes me angry. How do I handle? I worked really hard at being a grown-up and having the conversations, the hard conversations, where I am willing to say what my, what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
It says who should bring up an issue that is bothersome. I think the person that is bothered by the issue should bring up, the issue. I agree with you. I think counseling is important. Because I think sometimes you need a third person, that is looking at the situation that can help you to sort it out, so that you don't stay in a place of just arguing and fussing, and you're able to get to what the underlying issue actually is. Because a lot of times the arguing is not what's really the issue. It's whatever has you upset while you're arguing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. When I think about angry, and I'm not gonna pretend as though like I don't get angry, or if I don't get angry at people's behavior, because those feelings can definitely come up.
It's irritable. Mm-hmm. Can make you irritable.
And for my husband, like if he's doing something, and this is a effort, this is a decision, I have to go to God, and because I don't even want to act out of anger. I don't want to do any of that. I want to go to God, or take that time away and go to God, do one or the other or both. But yeah, I need to understand how he reacts also, because I need us to communicate about that. How do we handle disappointment? How do we handle, anger, or how do we handle when our expectations are met? How do we even know what our expectations are? And I'm hoping we communicate. I pray that we are in constant communication about that. But I do not expect that I'm going to, react though. Like I know I control that. Because I know I control how I react, then that's what it's going to be. If I choose to get in my prayer closet, or if I choose to go walking around the beach until I can get, my mind in a place where I can go back home and just talk to my husband, I'm going to do all of that. I'm not going to react though. Not in that way.
When I think about being angry, I think of, you have the feeling of whatever, you're upset about whatever took place. I'm hoping that, because I've worked really hard at just being able to have the conversation. So I'm hoping that that's the way I go about it. I don't expect to throw dishes and carry on like a lunatic. That takes up way too much energy, and it's just easier to just have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And if it means that you have to take a moment before you have the conversation, then that's what you do. You take that moment. But to me, that's the best solution. I don't like things to linger long, because the longer it lingers, the more upset I am about it. I'm working at it, but I am an overthinker. And when I'm angry, that can, you just keep turning it around in your mind and turning it around, and you're making it bigger than it actually has to be. So I would rather have the conversation. If we need to take some time to calm ourselves so that we are able to stay focused, because I am that person. I don't want you saying a whole lot of stuff about what we're not talking about. I want to talk about what actually took place. I'm not a person with the you always, and I'm very concise on what this is what took place. This is what has me upset, and I want to address that and move forward. I don't want to spend a lot of time fussing and allowing it to get bigger than it has to, because a lot of times it's just a matter of having the conversation, because sometimes it's miscommunication, sometimes it's being confused about a situation, sometimes, and I always address that for myself before I go to anyone. I'm really clear on what I'm feeling, and am I just in my feelings, or did something actually happen? Because I know that I'm very sensitive, so it doesn't take much for me to feel a way, but I'm aware of that. So before I even come to you about something, I've already addressed all of that with myself. Was I just in my feelings? Was I feeling a way about what was said? Why did I feel a way about what was said? Is this someone who is in the habit of trying to hurt me, or was this person trying to communicate and maybe didn't communicate as well as they should? I have all of those conversations before I address the person, because I want to make sure when I'm coming to you that there's actually something wrong. Because a lot of times we get caught up in our own feelings and we end up saying and doing things that are unnecessary. So I like to address all of that before, and make sure I'm clear on why exactly are you upset, and understanding, am I upset? Is that really about the other person, or is that my stuff? I do all of that before I come to you. So when I come to you, I'm pretty clear. And that's why if you decide to start dancing around and going around, I'm going to be annoyed, because I know that I took the time out to make sure that I was clear on it before I addressed you. And I just don't like that whole, being dismissive, being defensive, and using, just refusing to address what's actually on the table. That will annoy me. Yeah.
Well, lack of sleep, lack of food, or good food, dirty house, all these things will annoy me. So I don't know, I got lots of stuff to work on. But being dismissive, not feeling that I'm being heard, or you just feeling taken advantage of, would probably piss me off. And I probably won't process it, but come straight at you and tell you that, hey, you did this.
I like to process it before.
I'll come like, oh, you did this.
Avoid acting out.
Don't have an attitude.
Those are serious, though. Dismissiveness. Oh, that's serious.
And they do that. There are people that do that, and I don't do well with that. Because to me, it feels disrespectful.
Yeah.
It is. Yep, I agree. It is.
It feels very disrespectful. And those are the kind of things that will make me, I don't like to act out, but those are the things that will lead to some acting out. But I've gotten better. Because what I will do is take a moment, because if I don't take a moment, you're going to be sorry. You're going to be really, really sorry, because I'm going to say some real ignorant mess that's going to have us both at the counselor's office trying to figure out what we're doing. And since that's not what I'm trying to do, I try to take time to get my head around what exactly is happening and why you are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in Clubhouse?
Not a soul, just me.
Log out.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. You sound nice and clear.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nice.
well, that's better. Do we want to move on, or?
It's 9:30.
Oh wow! Look at that. Okay. Well,
I'm the best timekeeper we got in here.
you certainly are. We only have 2 left. We have work, health, and sickness.
Yes, you are. You
I
are.
guess we could do the finish it.
We can always finish it another time,
No, finish it now.
but it's 2 more sections. You sure?
2 more section or 2 more
Yeah.
questions?
Work, friends, health, and sickness.
Oh, no. We'll do it next time.
See, I told you. I know you. You like, look at here. I'm holding on by a string. I'm tired.
I didn't sleep last night. I was up at like 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I got up. I tried to go to sleep, and I just couldn't sleep for the past 2 days.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, you should sleep well tonight, because if you do a couple days without sleep, I know that's what usually happens to me. If I do a couple days without sleep, I'm going to be knocked out.
I hope so. I really would like to sleep, so I won't start yelling, because I've been yelling all day.
Oh, it's because you're tired.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
Pray you get some nice peace.
I think just my spirit is vexed, so I need to just pray and go before the Lord and ask
You
God.
feel your spirit is still vexed?
It is. Because of something else somebody else said. Not, well, are we done?
Yeah, let's, okay, let me just do our little spiel, and then we can stop the stream. Okay, so we continued our conversations that you should have, men and women should have when they're considering marriage. We have work, friendship, and health and sickness as the last 3 subjects that we can continue. Thank you all for being here. We are here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Saturday, New Kingdom Focus Bible Study, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us on Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, right? And I think that's it. On Bible Study on WhatsApp. Thank you for coming. We had a wonderful time. Have a great evening. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, camera.
Yep, you're done.
It's still live.
Look at that. Who the heck?